For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Someone who obtained citizenship via the CIP has lost that. It has been revoked. Also coming up, who would you prefer to be at the helm of your government departments, or government ministries as a minister? A rich person or a poor? Somebody has a take on this. Also coming up during the course of this afternoon's NewsSpin program, the qualifications of a politician. This has surfaced yet again. Welcome to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show, and that is NewsSpin on Power 97.9 FM. The broadcast is also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel. My name is Timothy Poleon. We go up until 2 o'clock this afternoon with your calls in a bit at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Again, 716-2026. And Amanda will be going through some of your comments in the chat room. Already people are greeting each other, saying hello. They are well behaved. We've been talking about the citizenship by investment program for quite some time now. And we've been introduced to a number of players, including Mr. Philippe Martinez, who to a large extent has introduced us to many of the workings of the CIP, things that we were not so familiar with, because unfortunately, in the case of St. Lucia, I don't think there's been sufficient transparency as far as the CIP is concerned. Yes, the previous administration would have posted on the government website or the website of the CIP unit the various statements regarding the performance of the particular program. But again, there's not been enough by way of public education, by way of discussions, and the government, particularly this one, has not been sufficiently transparent with us when we ask simple questions and causing us, in a sense, to be, how you'd put it, cause us to be less trusting and also to be cynical as well. So something has surfaced amidst all the talk of the due diligence process being very rigid and thorough, and we ensure that we grant people our citizenship after thoroughly scrutinizing them, their background, and going through various checks and balances and various layers and so on. So I stumbled upon this, a statutory instrument number 24, that should be statutory instrument 2024 of number 157, and it's dated November the 14th of 2024, and of course that is today. It has to do with the revocation of a citizenship of someone who got it via the CIP. And it reads that in exercise of the powers confirmed under sections 36(1)(c) and 39 of the Citizenship by Investment, also Act Cap 1.20, the minister responsible for the Citizenship by Investment program makes this order. Citation 1. This order may be cited as the Citizenship by Investment, and it says there, Chanji Su, formerly known as Hygiene Su, Revocation Order 2024. I could assume that person is a Chinese national. Exemption number 2. The grant of citizenship to Janji Su, formerly known as Hygiene Su, is revoked, as in the opinion of the minister, Janji Su, formerly known as Hygiene Su, has committed an act which may bring St. Lucia into disrepute. Made this 13th day of November 2024, Ernest Hilaire, Minister with responsibility for the Citizenship by Investment program. But I thought we were assured that before citizenship was granted to anyone, that the process would have been very, 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 very thorough. And everything would have been done, the due diligence and so on, to ensure that that person was somebody of the caliber, that person's reputation almost impeccable, to the extent that we could consider that person to be an exemplary individual, because we take the granting of our citizenship seriously. As the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines has been saying, this is the highest office in the land. But we don't know when that person was granted citizenship via CIP, but what we have been told, and the government of St. Lucia, particularly this minister, Dr. Ernest Hilaire, has been very quick to remind us over and over of the necessary checks and balances that are taken. I mean, to provide some assurance to the St. Lucian public. Well, he has had to revoke the citizenship of that individual because that is something he must do. Otherwise, that would affect the island's reputation, bring St. Lucia's reputation into disrepute. So let us listen to the minister, Dr. Ernest Hilaire. Remember that famous address to the nation some 5 months ago, and he makes reference to the whole due diligence process.
The due diligence process undertaken on each applicant is rigorous. We have firms from the United States of America and the United Kingdom who review the applicants. The due diligence on the applicant is further undertaken by law enforcement, then by the GRCC, which is an additional layer of due diligence shared by all 5 Caribbean CBI programs. The GRCC is a sub-agency of the Caribbean Community's Implementing Agency for Crime and Security. The due diligence process undertaken on each applicant is rigorous. We have firms from the United States of America and the United Kingdom who review the applicants. The due diligence on the applicant is further undertaken by law enforcement, then by the GRCC, which is an additional layer of due diligence shared by all 5 Caribbean CBI programs. The GRCC is a sub-agency of the Caribbean Communities Implementing Agency for Crime and Security.
Just so there, from the Minister with responsibility for the CIP, during an address that was delivered to the nation some 5 months ago, about rigorous due diligence. So therefore, based on the fact that the government, the minister, not the government, the minister had to revoke the citizenship of that individual because of certain things that person might have done that would bring St. Lucia's reputation into disrepute. How much confidence do you have in the authorities, those people who are doing the so-called due diligence and the various layers that have been instituted to ensure that people of questionable character are not given citizenship, local citizenship? And that is tremendous cause for concern. Now, somebody will tell you that at least something was done, but it was done after the fact. Whatever that individual has done, the impact, the effects could be irreparable. And we ought to be asking ourselves whether, it is worth us continuing to take such a risk of having a citizenship by investment program. Whether it is inevitable that eyebrows would be raised either at the level of the European Union or the Americans or the Canadians, and very soon they might be forced to take certain actions that could affect St. Lucian citizens. We are proving to be incapable of managing this program time after time, but yet still, the politicians in particular, those who are in St. Lucia, Dominica, those who are in government, that is, St. Lucia, Dominica in particular, they'll tell you that there are certain characters, certain individuals in those territories who have coalesced, who have united, so that they could disrupt the CIP program, and as a result, this would affect the respective governments in terms of executing various programs that would cause them to continue to be popular and win election after election. It's not about elections. It clearly is not about politics from the perspective of NewsSpin. It is from the perspective of the reputation of St. Lucia, Dominica, Antigua, Grenada, and St. Kitts and Nevis. How we are managing the CIP program, the due diligence that we like to talk about, we boast about, and we abuse this. And we are proving time after time that we are just incapable of taking care of our business, in particular, in this instance, the CIP program. And if you continue to speak about the CIP program in light of this revocation, what some people will say. Certain individuals will say, you are back on the CIP. You give it a break. You are back on it primarily. You have found something that could destabilize the government. We're not preoccupied with the SLP as a unit or an entity. We're more concerned about the government of St. Lucia, and also we're concerned about the island, St. Lucia in particular, and our reputation. Today or tomorrow, the SLP can vanish, can disintegrate. But we hope that St. Lucia will be a constant. There's always be a need for us to defend the reputation of our country. Donald Trump, President-elect of the United States, stumbled upon this clip where he's saying that to manage the economy of the United States, somebody was serving as Commerce Secretary. That person is deemed to be a rich individual, well-to-do individual, a fat cat. I think that person would have served in the first Donald Trump administration. And Donald Trump is saying, when it comes to managing the economy, I would prefer to a rich person being given that particular responsibility. Let's listen.
So somebody said, why did you appoint a rich person to be in charge of the economy? I said, no, it's true. And Wilbur's a very rich person in charge of commerce. I said, because that's the kind of thinking we want. I mean, you know, really, because they're representing the country. They don't want the money. They're representing the country. And they had to give up a lot to take these jobs. They gave up a lot. And I love all people, rich or poor. But in those particular positions, I just don't want a poor person. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? If you insist, I'll do it. But I like it better this way, right?
Okay. In St. Lucia, you might wonder where I'm going with that. In St. Lucia, I believe, in our politics generally in the Caribbean, it's not about whether somebody is rich or poor. You should determine whether you should give them a position in a government, such as Minister of Finance or Minister of Commerce, Industry, Minister of Tourism, etc. I think it has everything to do with honesty. In the United States, in the UK, elsewhere, one gets the impression that people enter politics to serve. And that is after they have excelled in academia, in business, in a number of other areas. And so they don't come in for the money. That is the general impression. I don't have the evidence to prove that. I'm just saying. But in the case of the Caribbean, rich or poor, it's all about the money. Those who are rich want to continue to remain rich. All right? They want to remain rich. They'll do everything to remain rich. That's those who are rich. Those who are poor want to get rich. In the main, now I'm saying it applies for all politicians in the Caribbean, but I believe that is the general feeling. So let us put people in positions of leadership in our country, not based on their social or economic status, but based on their track record, their background, and if we can determine they are people of integrity. That is what should matter. Let's open the line to take your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026, 716-2026. WhatsApp message, somebody says that St. Lucia, CIP is getting well coached by another prime minister of a Caribbean country. Another WhatsApp message, what amazes me is government ministers can waive all sorts of documents about everything. But the Civil Status Registry is asking to find documents from the 19th century in order to give you a birth certificate. Ridiculous. And that is according to a WhatsApp message. Continue to send me your WhatsApp messages at 716-2026 along with your WhatsApp calls. And of course, you could also dial 716-2026. And we have 452-297. And let's take a call on the landline. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Hi, good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
I just am going to comment on your short clip. You know, I agree with you, but I also disagree with you in a sense. Honesty is always supposed to be paramount.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nobody is supposed to be, especially running public office, and they're dishonest. But I also see what Donald Trump is talking about. I think he's talking about the mindset, the mentality. You know, if somebody has a poor mentality, then they cannot see further down the line. If somebody has shown that they can be successful, then more than likely they are going to be successful in whatever position they are allowed to work within, or whatever department they're allowed to lead. I think that's basically what I'm getting from what he's saying. Because it's not just the fact that you are poor. You have some people who, for example, are not about the money.
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders, for example, is not about the money. And when he ran in 2016, everybody mocked him. He only has about $2 or $3 million, and Donald Trump has billions, and Hillary Clinton has hundreds of millions, and they mocked him. But for him, it's just about serving people. Even if I disagree with his policy, it's about serving people and not really the money. So, I mean, you contrast that with, let's say, Kamala Harris's campaign raised over $1 billion, and she ended her election run $20 million in debt. Okay, so I think it's the mindset and not necessarily what the individual has accomplished, but the evidence of what the person can do would be whether or not that person themselves sometimes is rich or poor.
Okay, but generally, what is the motivation in, let's say, in the Caribbean? And I want to say St. Lucia in particular, but in the Caribbean, what is generally the motivation for people to enter politics?
It's generally to get the money.
Yeah.
Honestly, from what I've seen, it's generally to get the money. You barely find a leader who is genuinely just there to serve, and the guys are saying, well, boy, it's not about the money. They're going to leave their salaries. They're going to leave whatever great positions they have in whatever public or other private entity and come to serve. It's rare.
And my issue is also having corrupt politicians, those people who love the power and they want to remain in office for 6 terms and 7 terms. Sometimes they even want to die in office.
Right. You had what, Dianne Feinstein in the U.S. who died recently, just refusing to leave office. You had the Supreme Court justice who died in office.
Then you have Sir John Compton in St. Lucia who died in office.
Similarly, died in office. You know, because some people just refuse to live it. It is something in our human nature. I mean, from the time of sin, when it was introduced into our living, that we have that as a flaw. I mean, generally, you can find the mildest person. You give them just an ounce, just a taste of what power is like, and you will see almost definitely a drastic change. So definitely I agree, in the Caribbean, this is definitely what generally we have seen. Persons are out to increase their status, improve their status, and definitely to increase their earnings. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for calling. We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Yes, good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
You're doing well. Yeah. Tim, I know as much as your subject today seems to be on the CIP, but I know NewsSpin.
I don't have any subject.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But my issue today, Tim, is with the taxi sector.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Terry Valzeda speaking, President. Tim, we have in the taxi sector, we have problems. And I could tell you from where it stands now. The National Taxi Union has put an interim committee in place to address some of our issues in the sector. We have met with the Ministry of Tourism on 2 occasions. They try and give us an open door to dialogue. We have raised the issues, and for some reason, the Ministry of Tourism, the DPS, and an officer, they're stringing us along. And I could give you an example. We have 2 members of taxi organization, who are affiliated with the National Taxi Union. And to date, the ministry said they're doing transition, and those individuals seems to be going hell. There's one gentleman who has a TX plate. When the TX plate was first issued, it was red. He have had the TX plate for the last 20 years, but when it was first issued, it was issued to his cousin who never had a vehicle. He has been using that TX plate from the beginning. His cousin passed away. The gentleman is a member of Courtesy Taxi. Today, he has brought in all his documents, and they are refusing to transfer the TX plate in the man's name for him to pay his sticker. He went to pay for his sticker. He has insurance. Police has charged him, and the ministry is stringing him along. We have another situation again. A gentleman who's married, who took a loan, he and his wife. The ministry is telling the gentleman he needs to remove his name from his wife's insurance in order for them to issue her a TX plate. Tim, I don't know, for some reason, these people are playing with our livelihood on a day-to-day basis. Now, I could say from where we are now, presently, there are actions that could be taken. And the tourism industry is a very fragile one. And we're trying our best to mitigate along the line that we do not have to go down that road. But it's almost now like we are left with no other choice. But we might have to pursue that route. Because I know and have the evidence that TX plates were issued to individuals who never did the seminar. They were never certified. And the ministry is aware of it. But today you have the bona fide members of taxi organization and who are members of the union is getting a hard time in getting the plate transferred willfully or to be issued the second plate. But the ministry will go on a limb and want to issue, say, 600, but it has gone beyond 600 plates. We have asked, we have requested for information from them. They're just stringing us along, and behind the scene, they are doing all kind of crooked stuff that is affecting our livelihood. Tim, I think this thing is going too far. It's very chaotic, and we're just sounding the alarm because look like in St. Lucia, unless you retaliate or revolt when things are affecting you, nobody takes you serious. Nobody. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Well, caller, you guys know what you're going through. Try your best to see how you can address this particular issue. Sometimes, you go through the process of having discussions and you dialogue, and with the hope of having things rectified or addressed amicably. There are a number of, as you said, there are a number of avenues that you can take. As long as they're lawful, go down that route to see that this matter is settled once and for all, because very often it has to do with survival and you having to do what is required of you to eke out an honest living. Good afternoon to you, Amanda. Let's find out what is happening in the chat room. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Tim. Good afternoon, NewsSpinners. In the chat room, someone says, Tim, I want someone that's rich because he has wealth already. But a poor man, Tim, will make up for all the years that he has been poor.
It does not make a difference in St. Lucia, in the Caribbean, and our politics. The richer those guys are, they want to get richer. Those who are poor, getting into office, want to become rich. Continue.
This is suspicious because what exactly did she do? Another comment, Shanley Sue, Ibwe top warm. Somebody said, Tim, be careful you bite your tongue. So another comment, AA citizenship are already being revoked. Someone says the SLPs will say that this person got citizenship under the previous government. Just wait for it. Another contribution, I think this is fake. He is trying to show that their due diligence practices are rigorous. Okay, then what exactly did she do that would place St. Lucia at risk? Another comment, when will our so-called honorable politicians behave like honorable politicians? Another contribution, Tim, what happened to cause the revocation after so-called due diligence? Will the applicant be refunded? Another comment, Tim, the impact of what the individual has done would be... Okay, let's skip that comment. Another comment, I disagree with we are incapable of managing the CIP program. What we currently have is a government who does not give flying fudge about the people we hand our passports to, so long as they and their cronies can benefit financially. Another comment, how do we know that this is not a fake setup revocation to give the illusion of accountability? Another comment, Tim Healer should have been stopped long ago from being the minister of the CIP program. That man is dishonest. Another contribution...
All right, we have no evidence to prove that an individual is honest or dishonest. Continue.
Another contribution, Tim, when you took when you look at it, Trump has a point, but sometimes they take advantage of their position. Someone says, Tim, the Americans voted for a president with a questionable character. We do the same in St. Lucia. Citizenships, passport sales enrich those directly involved, so what should we expect? Another comment, Tim, that's not the same thing with Compton. There were no others to replace him. He left and UWP lost the election. He came and won. Another comment, politicians in the Caribbean are there for the money, authority, power, control, and the amount of properties and things that they can acquire, so that when they leave politics, they will be well off. But there is a question mark when it comes to the Barbados PM. You can see that she's working more than she's getting paid for. And another comment in the chat room, someone says, give me a minute here. The taxi and transport associations appear to have continuous drama. Isn't that association partially subsidized by the government? Another comment, this government is pretending that all is well, but that's not true. Someone says, never miss the water till the river runs dry. Best Minister of Tourism, Dominic Fede. Someone says, Tim, how many of them participated in the White March when UWP was in power? They better continue protecting the victory and the frequent flyer miles. The ministers are busy racking up.
Thank you so much. 4522979, WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. We have a call on the landline. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
Okay, I'm going to change your topic a little bit.
I don't have a topic, sir.
Okay, as Mr. Walter said a while ago. I'm also a member of the interim on the National Taxi Union.
Yeah.
Team, I think what we're getting from the ministry, it's a 649. We have tried our best. As I could actually remember, you said we need to find a way to get our problem solved.
Yeah.
Tim, I believe the best way the problem could have been solved is, speaking with the ministry, we've been going along with Timothy, we've been going along with the deputy PS, and every time we dare Tim, when we come to bring an issue towards them, like they spin us around and make us believe that they're working with us. But behind our back, it seems there's something different. First, to begin with, Tim, the TX split. I remember a long time when we first issued with the TX split, we were called ambassador for the country, and then all the things we said that was said to us, we are the first and the last that the visitors will counteract with, and this is okay. But now you've been issuing TX split. You will see, I noticed a vehicle like a red Lexus with a TX split, and it's on the side of the bumper. You see, just like you get a sticker, a sticker, the man put the sticker on the side of the bumper, and it's not appropriate actually. It's not presentable for a taxi. So this again is disrespect. This again is disrespect to the highest level of the industry, which we believe that is the best, the only economy for the country. Number two, you have where you find persons did not even do the course, persons are not operating in any organization, but yet still they have a TX. So, Tim, you find whatever we're fighting for, with the ministry, we're not getting it. When the ministry tell me you want to protect the industry by saying to me, you're going to give me a permit, and without a permit, I cannot run a taxi. So you're giving anybody on the outside a taxi, a TX split, sorry, and then you giving them a permit. You will not protect the industry by doing that, because the guys, just the same way you give them the plate and they putting it on any other vehicle, okay? Long time ago, we were supposed to buy a vehicle that is appropriate to the taxi. Before we put a taxi plate on the vehicle, it would have been inspected by the Ministry of Tourism. But now this is not happening. Anybody will have a TX and put it on any vehicle. So this is just long gone. So, and again, Tim, what the ministry is trying to do is saying to me that my plate cannot be transferable. For example, if I have a 25-year-old son, and if I am 70 or 80 years old, and I decide to resign taxi, I have my taxi peg at Point Serafin or at La Place Carinage before I leave the taxi, and my 25-year-old son has done the seminar, he has done everything. The ministry is saying to me that I cannot give my son my legacy to continue, and if that, for example, is the only breadwinner in the house, for me doing as a taxi person, that's where we put bread on the table. My 25-year-old son, I cannot pass my peg, pass the TX, and whatever I have within the taxi sector, I cannot just go again and transfer it to my son. So the ministry have to decide whether my son is eligible to do taxi where I left off. Tim, this is just crazy. This is just crazy, and the ministry is just trying something that they would. To me, it's not going to work, because you cannot tell me all what I have, all what I worked for, and my son is following up after me. You're saying to me that I cannot transfer my goods to my son to follow up to win bread for the family. So this is madness, Tim. I think the Ministry of Tourism need to look into it again, and again we are saying that will lead us to do something which we don't want to do. We're giving the ministry notice that they need to come straight with the National Taxi Union, because, Tim, we got the mandate from all the taxi association to represent them. We have a mandate, and we need to bring back the report to them. We have up to January, the 31st of January, to see that we achieve something. And every time we go to the ministry, it's something different. So we are alarming the ministry, please, come straight with us. We're willing to work with you. We're willing to do everything that we believe that will help the sector. But we are asking them, please, do not turn us around, because we know what's going on. We're in St. Lucia, and we're hearing on the streets, and we're also seeing what's happening. So we are begging with them, or we are begging them to work with us, because we know what's going on, and we are making plans. Thank you very much, Tim.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. A WhatsApp message, somebody says there, TX on a 2-door Suzuki Escudo. All right, let's see there if we have another WhatsApp message. Tim, how are you not telling the people the truth? The same man Trump had to run the borders, the same man Obama had in his administration, and even gave him an award for his many deportations. All right, let's see there. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Still to come, of course, some more of your calls and your WhatsApp messages. Philip J. Pierre versus Alan Chasney. Somebody's making a case for one of the two.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbute at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilex Customer Service Office in Castries is now opened for business, but we've moved. We're now located on Daisy Avenue in Sanssouci on the ground floor of the new Carilac building. We're open weekdays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Check out our online options first. But if you do need to come in to see us, we'll be pleased to serve you with new connections, bill queries, payments, and other service requests. Lucilex Sanssouci office, ground floor of the Carilac building. New location, same great service.
St. Lucia, get ready for the ultimate flavor explosion at KFC. Introducing the new bacon milk sandwich. That's right, the crispy, juicy KFC chicken you love, topped with melted cheese, crispy bacon, and your choice of mayo or barbecue sauce, all nestled in a soft sesame seed bun.
Come and try KFC's new bacon milk sandwich is great, no lie. Crispy chicken, bacon, cheese flavor certified with mayo or barbecue. Anyone you must try. For just $25, get this combo deal. Fries and a drink, it's a steal. Head to KFC, cause you don't wanna miss a bacon milk sandwich. Have it on your list.
Available at all KFC locations island-wide. WhatsApp 484-0400 or visit kfcslu.com for delivery and more.
Okay, Max, if I'm going to steal Christmas this year, I'll need a smart TV to keep an eye on the who's, a smartphone to call for backup, cash, and a stove to bake this ham. Seriously, I can get all this for free if I signed up for Flow.
We're Christmasing with thousands of gifts even the Grinch would love. Sign up for a postpaid mobile bundle or high-speed broadband and win big every week. Visit discoverflow.co now.
It is well known by all solution professional tradesmen and even homeowners that European-made tools are the best. Well, guess what? Europa Hardware is having a massive promotion on the Metabo brand of power tools. From impact drills to angle grinders, jigsaws to rotary hammers, sanders and hot air guns. All at unbeatable, jaw-dropping prices. Don't let your tools let you down. Come to Europa and stay standing with a proud in-the-hand tool from Metabo. Call us at 452-0763 or visit us in Massat Grosile. Europa, we service what we sell.
Ministre qui a responsabilité pour santé a offert un service neuf en bas programme Universal Health Coverage là. Service ça là c'est pour femmes faire test pap smear pour aider à adresser problème cancer en matrice. Service nouveau pap smear ça là plus confortable et plus facile. Nous commandé pour toute femme pour l'avantage service ça là et aller en wellness center à Camino pour apprendre plus à sur sa clinique pap smear ça là qu'a offert. Ada une semaine seulement ou ka jwen résultat l'examen pap smear. Et si mou chwe bagay pas normal, et ben la ni cancer, ou ka traper examiner encore durant une semaine. La ka ni examination pour HPV 16 et HPV 18 qui ça en cause cancer en matrice. Si résultat test la pas normal, ou ka jwen un appointment vitement pour traitement. Et là, ou ka jwen plus information à sous maladie et guérison. Nous commandons toute femme pour prendre l'avantage service neuf sala pour adresser problème cancer. Et UHC, santé ou c'est l'antéwino. Pour plus d'informations, téléphonez 468 5300 et bien 468 5328.
In today's fast-paced world, accurate health diagnosis is more crucial than ever. Time is vital. Are you suffering from chronic headaches, back pain, knee pain, spinal injuries, nerve disorders, sciatica, stroke, joint pain, or rheumatism? No matter the pain or illness, La Clinique de Corps has the best medical doctors and specialists to diagnose and treat your condition. We are the only medical clinic equipped with the latest 1.5 Tesla MRI machine, the gold standard in healthcare. This fully GE certified machine provides top quality radiation-free images detecting any illness including tumors and cancer with immediate accuracy. We also offer the ultimate in ultrasound technology. For patients seeking a second opinion before any complex medical procedure, La Clinique du Corps facilitates direct communication with top medical specialists from Martinique and France, recognized internationally for prioritizing patients' best interests. Call La Clinique du Corps in Castries or Cocoville, Rodney Bay at 451-6559 and make your appointment today.
Attention homeowners, are you ready to transform your space this holiday season? Don't miss out on the Tile Gallery Incredible Jingle Tile Sale, happening now through October 31st. For a limited time, save up to 50% off on a stunning selection of tiles only at the Tile Gallery. Whether you're upgrading your kitchen, bathroom, or outdoor, we have the perfect style for you. But hurry, this offer won't last long. Visit us today and elevate your home with beautiful tiles at unbeatable prices at the Jingle Tile Sale. The Tile Gallery is located at MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt stores. Terms and conditions may apply.
At Caribbean Pastouche Limited, we offer high-quality products from Martinique, and our ready mix is made with casting sand, not regular pumice. Compared to regular pumice, casting sand saves you in your cement use. At Caribbean Pastouche Limited, our materials come from porcelain stones, which is used as an additive in creating cement. Caribbean Pastouche Limited is located in Bexon, behind Essential Hardware. Give us a call at 489-0074. We're open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Caribbean Pastouche Limited. Quality construction, our priority.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. We now take your call. Hello, good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tim.
Yes, good afternoon to you, caller.
Mr. Tim, it's all about our country. Mr. Tim, I'm talking about the Choiseul pond, the fisheries, the pond. Mr. Tim, anytime you come to Choiseul, you must take a drive there to see how nice they fix that pond. But that pond there, it was under the United Workers' Party administration, Bradley Felix, the district rep of Choiseul Saltibus. And it's true, we lost the election. They lost the election, but it was his contract, and it built nice. So I'm sending a message for the Soufrière people. Herod was a great performer in Soufrière. And I was in Soufrière and I seen the jetty collapse. People bring back Herod to develop Soufrière. You see, I'm telling you, it's not about color, it's not about red or yellow, it's all about performance. And I'll leave it as that, Mr. Tim. Great day.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for your contribution. 452-2979, 452-2979, along with your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. Again, 716-2026. Somebody says there, taxi associations don't understand. This has to happen because of GPH. The prices they will have to pay to access the cruise ships. So the government is making sure to destabilize the industry. So no action can be taken against GPH. Ask them what prices have to be paid monthly to GPH versus what was paid to Port Authority. We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello. Good afternoon.
Hey, Tim. Good day. How are you doing?
I'm okay, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller. Go ahead with your contribution, please.
All right. Yeah, Tim, I must say that on Tuesday, I sat at the court, the civil court, the trial, the CCJ matter. And I too am very optimistic about the decision that would be given in January of next year, very early next year. When I listen to the arguments on both sides, Tim, over 1.5 hours of back and forth legal arguments for or against, I must say that the appellant case appears much stronger and have bigger, tighter boots on than the government side, Tim. And Rick mentioned it yesterday. I think one of the lawyers, the consuls from the government side, raised an issue that there was not a hue and cry at the time when that matter was discussed, which didn't go well, which was not supported by the back and forth, the claims made on the other side. But Tim, it is so sad that, the government finds itself in a situation like that. When simply, and that's simply what we were discussing at the time, not many people knew it, not many people wanted to speak about it. Just if there is an injunction against the matter. We had an injunction against the prison by the demolition, by the trust. That was heard, I believe, on a Sunday, Tim. You can believe that?
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, the prison injunction was heard against the former government on a Sunday. I don't know where they found that generous judge. Tim, so what could the government have lost if they had not just given that a little? Even while the injunction was on, there was discussion on a certain talk show how the appellant was no lawyer and he think he's a lawyer. But this man is a better lawyer than a lot of lawyers who carrying the suits in town, Tim. Because he understands the Constitution and it is proven, and he's going to be proven right. And I'm optimistic about that, Tim. But let's wait for January, Tim. I don't want to blow my trumpet too early.
Let's see how it plays out.
Because a lot of people a lot of people don't understand that case. And you'll hear them in January when the decision comes out. Tim, let me ask you. I heard the press conference by the new CEO, acting commissioner. Did you play that on your program? I joined you late yesterday.
Yes, I had some comments extracted and played on the broadcast. But don't ask me to review what happened yesterday. If you missed it, that's your fault. Go out and try and get a recording of the program.
No. Before I called you, I did my homework. That's why I just asked you that, whether you had it. I heard it on another program. I listened to it before I called you, Tim, to ask you, to make a statement, my opening remarks, my opening statement. Tim, did I hear the commissioner well? Did he say that when he reviewed the file, he saw it was very brief, inadequate, and does not substantiate the claims made?
Yes, he made the comment, yes.
And
brief,
did he also
especially brief and inadequate.
Yes, and did he also say, and questions were asked of him, that the 2007 file that was submitted, apparently another file of the same subject, was not available or missing?
Yes.
Tim, oh Lord. You know, Tim, I can't blame the acting commissioner for that, because the name was mentioned, the investigator's name was mentioned, Mr. Macombi. And I know, if it's that person that I'm thinking, that Mr. Macombi was a sergeant of police, retired, still in the system, but retired from the force. If that is the case, Tim, it does not smell very good for our already people lack the confidence that the police are actually investigating matters against one of their own. Tim, so if a file is submitted, the police should guard that file, because they know the likelihood of, if that matter goes under, if that case file disappears, Tim. You understand what I'm saying?
Very much so.
So I cannot understand how the commissioner would come to a press conference knowing that matter will be asked of him, and he's prepared to say that the file is, after saying one is inadequate, one is brief, one does not substantiate, he's saying that the other one he'd have not seen it. He cannot find it. And when asked if it disappeared, he say he cannot find it. So it's not disappeared, he just cannot find it. Tim, I feel very bad to hear that and to know that came out of a press conference on such a serious matter, Tim. Because the police need all the confidence in the people, Tim. We cannot have a situation where a major incident like that can go missing while persons are still available, people are alive, all the parties are there, and the matter is missing. Where did it go? But Tim, that's all I will say for now. So I want to thank you for the time.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for your contribution. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Any comments in the chat room, Amanda?
Yes, Tim, a few. Someone says, imagine the government is getting rid of SU to protect their reputation, but is sticking with BMAX, a smuggling company. Another comment, some taxi drivers need to take a rest and let the new young drivers to revamp the sector. Someone says any business that receives the subsidized funding from the government needs to show that they are capable of operating independently and efficiently. If that business can't prove such, then all funding should be stopped. This drama with the Taxi and Transport Association has been ongoing. Another comment: when I check many alleged corrupt countries in the world, we can see that they also have their cultural ways of doing things, but here it looks like our country's culture is corruption, especially when these thugs are in charge. Just pure fraud, disinformation, and diversion. Another comment: if all sectors that is suffering put aside their fears and come together and protest, it will be very effective. They are suffering in silence and they don't want the opposition to fight the cause alone. It won't work. It has to be a St. Lucian cry, not opposition alone. Put aside fear, St. Lucians. Someone says Nancy Charles should run against Emma or any of the female reps in the SLP, because I have full confidence that she will be a formidable candidate that could win against any one of them. And in the chat room, someone says, God is good, everything will fall into place, evil can't prevail for too long. St. Lucians, stay focused. That's
right, thank you so much, Amanda, for that update. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Yeah, good afternoon, Timothy.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Good afternoon, caller.
Yeah, I see the minister, heard the minister came on your show yesterday, right? So I just wanted to
the local government
make
minister.
sure you guarantee us when of Castries.
Yeah.
Just make sure when he come here at his best behavior, because we don't like the arrogance. Yeah, because we won't be able to help him anyway, Yeah, and I want to shout out to Bradley family and work is work. There's guys from Choiseul who do voluntary work. Yeah, but my main point is about and the Prime Minister was in Dominica for a grand opening.
Yes, part of the building of an airport, international airport, and also the conference of delegates of the Dominica Labour Party.
Yeah, but I mean, like, all I say, as an economist, you're doing St. Lucia, a disservice to tell me in Dominica for a grand opening of a new airport, and you stop the advancement of our own in St. Lucia, as a if he's an economist or engineer in economy or whatever, I think he should lose his certificate because he's not working in the interest of the people. He's breaking like the ethical values, it's like exercising self-interest, conflict of interest, So I hope I don't even believe he's doing any self-reflection as far as his duty to the country, Because stopping these projects and then going and enjoy your grand opening in some other country. To me, I don't know. I mean, it's like I don't get it, But that is just my point today. You're out there, you're stopping all these projects in St. Lucia, and there's you in the next country, enjoying the grand opening. I mean, we have a new.
It wasn't the opening, it wasn't the opening, but a sword-turning ceremony. Ceremony to mark the commencement of the project. Yeah.
Right. But I still feel it's a disservice, man. I mean, right there, he should have a self-reflection to his duty to our country. You know what I mean? Yeah. You stop it, that you're going to turn soil in, and then man. All right, team, enjoy your day. I'm gonna leave the line for somebody else to.
All right.
Give a point. Yeah.
Thank you so much for calling, and all the best to you. Let's take a call on the landline. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Hi, Tim. Good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon to you.
Hi, Amanda. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, caller.
Hi, Tim. I have a question. Who is responsible if you have a complaint against the bank? Is it Ministry of Commerce? Is it? I'm not sure. If I have a complaint against,
I think you could take it to the Consumer Affairs Department.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm talking about CIBC specifically.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how many persons have encountered that problem, but they have a machine now where you can pay your credit card because they no longer accept persons coming to the counter to do certain transactions. So when you go to this ATM machine, team, if your notes are not new and crisp the machine would not accept the funds. Okay, so what is the recourse? I think the bank should consider that and put some envelopes, have some machines where, like our Republic Bank, where you can put your funds in an envelope and deposit it. Because, like I said, I have gone to pay my credit card on several occasions, and I had to go time and time again because the machine is rejecting the paper monies.
But can you do online banking? There's online banking as well.
Yes, but everybody doesn't want to do online banking. Yeah, at this time, I prefer not to do online banking.
Okay.
You know, so I use that option, and I'm sure other persons use that option. So I'm not just calling on my behalf; I'm calling on other persons' behalf as well. So the bank should look into it, and maybe put one of the machines, put envelopes where you can make a deposit. That you can pay off your funds with envelopes. Something else, Tim. Have you been into Constitution Park of late, or have you passed?
Well, I drive along that road very often.
Okay.
I see people gambling there. people have set up their little tents there. Remind me of Woodford Square in Trinidad.
Tim, it was a disgrace for all the guys, because you know that they have now barricaded area for the new...
the House of Justice.
Right. So now all the persons who were sitting there are now in Constitution Park, a whole set of pigeons, a whole set of stray dogs, and a whole set of vagrants, and the place is
in the capital. In the capital.
And they have right there the former Prime Minister.
And the people have their drinks there, as they're playing their cards and stuff, having a good time.
Oh my goodness, that place is a mess. And then I'm looking on the other side, they have this statue of
Sir John.
The guy from France. I forgot his name.
Bido?
Yes.
Simon Boli.
And it is nicely fenced, Tim. Flowers planted. Nobody can just go in there because, it's fenced. So I'm asking, who was the Prime Minister of St. Lucia? Is it Bido or is it John Compton? I don't know. They need to do something about this place. It's disgusting. And what I'm saying, even though they can erect maybe just a little fence around the area where they have the statue, at least to make it look presentable. But the place is disgusting. Pigeons, stray dogs, stray people. I don't know. Mr. Frederick, please do something about that place. Or the mayor, do something about that place, because it really is disgusting. Thank you, Tim.
All right, thank you so much. Now you've made reference to Mr. Frederick, referring there to the MP for Castries Central. He called the broadcast yesterday, and he was speaking about comparing the leadership style and stewardship of Philip J. Pierre as Prime Minister versus that of Alan Chastney.
In any day in history, Philip Joseph Pierre will go down as a much better, a more compassionate, a man who's more interested in all solutions against Alan Chastney. In any day in history, Philip Joseph Pierre will go down as a much better, a more compassionate, a man who's more interested in all solutions against Alan Chastney.
What say you to this? 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. There's a call on the landline. Good afternoon to you. NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Timothy, a pleasant good afternoon to you and your listeners all over the world.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
PW on the line, and good afternoon to Amanda.
Good afternoon, caller.
Timothy, the information that Mr. God did highlight to us, I am wondering whether Mrs. Poleon didn't have that information, Timothy. This is the question that I wanted to ask Mr. God, because if he is privy to such information, why Ms. Poleon didn't have that information? You mean the 11th hour he has taken up a position? Well, it's not the 11th hour. At the beginning, his inauguration period, which is a month or two, he's coming and informed the public of such valuable information that he has. Miss Pelius had to do an interview before she left to give us the information Mr. God is giving us now, Timothy. What do you expect solutions to think? Is there a cover-up? Is there people that have access to that particular room? The files can go missing? What is going on with the police force? The police force need to put their act together. And they need to come to a conclusion. This impacts. It cannot linger for any more, Timothy. It cannot linger. You know? Are we waiting for these people to pass away? Are we waiting for these people to leave the country and reside overseas? Where some of them have been residing overseas? We need to come to a conclusion. I'm hoping that early next year that this impacts case can be resolved and it can be closed and the families can come to at least know what happened to members of their family. Timothy, for today, I thank you.
Thank you so much. WhatsApp message. Somebody says, but if he's so compassionate, referring there to Prime Minister Philippe J. Pierre, the person continues, he should have already approved his application. Makes me wonder. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Still to come, some more of your calls and your WhatsApp messages, and you'll be hearing from a particular individual who wants to unseat a particular MP. This is the most monitored talk show in the world.
La Clinique du Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence is revolutionizing healthcare right here in St. Lucia. No longer do you have to travel abroad for high-quality head-to-toe MRI images. Our center features the latest 1.5 Tesla MRI technology from General Electric. Operated by GE Healthcare certified technologists, our radiation-free scans provide unparalleled clarity. Our board-certified specialist radiologists ensure more accurate diagnoses. Don't take our word for it. We continue to serve many satisfied patients. And the best part? Your MRI report arrives within 24 hours, and we can send images directly to your doctor anywhere in the world. Say goodbye to long wait times and unnecessary travel expenses. Trust the Caribbean's leading medical imaging service located in Cocoville, Rodney Bay. Call La Clinique du Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence today and take the first step towards a healthier tomorrow.
When they arrive, our services will make the dead look alive. With Bouteille and Beaufort accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices from coffins to corsage. Personalized service you get when Lazarus take charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
Lucilex remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593, 285-3329, or 285-8640. Or send an email to customersupport@lucilec.com for assistance. Lucilec encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Christmas in this year.
Can I have this? We have an extra $400 from Flow. You can have everything you want.
More gifts with Flow. With Christmas in, win weekly prices up to 10,000 in cash. Sign up for a postpaid bundle or a broadband plan. We Christmas in with free groceries from Flow. Plus, a chance to win weekly prizes and up to $10,000 cash. Head over to your nearest Flow store or visit discoverflow.co. Flow, we Christmasing. More gifts with Flow.
St. Lucia, get ready for the ultimate flavor explosion at KFC. Introducing the new bacon milk sandwich. That's right, the crispy, juicy KFC chicken you love, topped with melted cheese, crispy bacon, and your choice of mayo or barbecue sauce, all nestled in a soft sesame seed bun.
Your taste buds ready, come and try KFC's new bacon milk sandwich is great, no lie. Crispy chicken, bacon, cheese flavor certified with mayo or barbecue. Anyone you must try. For just $25, get this combo deal. Fries and a drink, it's a steal. Head to KFC, cause you don't wanna miss a bacon melt sandwich, have it on your list.
Available at all KFC locations island-wide. WhatsApp 4840400 or visit kfcslu.com for delivery and more.
Get your home holiday ready with unbeatable savings at MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt. Enjoy pre-Christmas savings of up to 50% off on selected Christmas items this season. Transform your space and make your home shine. Everything you need is here. MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt pre-Christmas sale is happening now. Shop early and save big. Your holiday home improvement starts now.
It is well known by all solution professional tradesmen and even homeowners that European-made tools are the best. Well, guess what? Europa Hardware is having a massive promotion on the Metabo brand of power tools. From impact drills to angle grinders, jigsaws to rotary hammers, sanders and hot air guns, all at unbeatable, jaw-dropping prices. Don't let your tools let you down. Come to Europa and stay standing with a proud in-the-hand tool from Metabo. Call us at 452-0763 or visit us in Masat Grozide. Europa, we service what we sell.
The government of St. Lucia, through the Ministry of Health, Wellness, and Elderly Affairs, continues to provide more for pregnant women in St. Lucia. Through maternal and child health services under universal health coverage, pregnant women will receive laboratory and ultrasound services through community wellness centers island-wide at no cost. From care during and after pregnancy, vaccinations, family planning to nutritional and mental health counseling, we are here to support you. Take advantage of our weekly services at no cost. And from 1st June 2023, the addition of laboratory and ultrasound services will ease the pressure to aid healthier and safer delivery for you and your baby. Visit your nearest wellness center to register for universal health coverage. For more information, call 468-5300 or 468-5328.
To have a strong structure, you must have a strong foundation. And at Caribbean Pastors Limited, we offer top quality aggregate materials at great prices. We supply high quality ready mix, casting sand and plastering sand. We also take special requests for specific materials that you may require for your building projects. Caribbean Pastors Limited is located in Bexon behind Essential Hardware. Give us a call at 489-0074. We're open from Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Caribbean Pastors Limited. Quality construction, our priority.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It is called the NewsSpin on Power 97.9 FM, where we continue with your calls and your WhatsApp messages. 452-2979. That's 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages at 716-2026. 716-2026. And again, we'll have another update, and it'll be coming from Amanda in just a bit. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, team.
Hi.
Good afternoon to you, man.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Good afternoon, caller.
Tim, when last you drive on Jeremy Street?
Yeah, I drive there very often. Maybe as recent as maybe earlier this week.
Okay, where Chisel Street joined Jeremy Street in that intersection, about 50 feet off going down to the market, there's a sinkhole there for the better part of 2.5 months.
Yes, I've realized that. And I think water is also settling in the area, right? Whenever it rains.
Not only water, stagnant water with mud and silt spreading on the street in a mess. But let me mention that to you. I took a measurement of this because I have interest in the area. It is about 7 feet wide by about 10.5 feet long by about 25 inches deep.
Wow.
Most time this thing is filled with water. Sometimes you have some kind of flimsy barricade there with a few yellow lines around that. Sometimes it's broken down. That is an accident waiting to happen to motorists. That's one. The Minister of Housing is always ready to help anyone who engages him on a Thursday night. So we want his help now on Jeremy Street to take care of that problem. It is time they address that. Last week, I was in the area. I saw a couple, that's two tourists, Caucasian people, stood up and watching it with great interest. They had their camera in their hand. I can't certain that they took photograph of it, but this is really a terrible situation in the city of Castries. Now, a while ago, a couple callers a while ago mentioned about the situation at Constitution Park. Now that is adding more to the woes in the city. I heard somebody was being interviewed on Street Vibe, who said, "Oh, this is my second time of coming to St. Lucia, but this time it is really bad. The city needs a facelift." That is from a tourist listening to Street Vibe. So what are we heading to? Jeremy Street, Tim, I'm on Jeremy Street all the time. I am telling you, Jeremy Street is worse than anything I see in the countryside when I used to be in the countryside. Tell you the truth. Now, secondly, some years ago, there was some sign posted by the traffic department along the lower part of Lotop prohibiting trailer parking along that road. I don't know when last you drove on that road. A lot of those trailers are parking along the road and sometimes opposite, one on the left, one on the right. And what is even more what should I say, precarious or dangerous, those trailers are parked like about maybe 2 feet off the main road, the top road. On the front end of the container has a metal bar going across. And right now, this morning I passed and I saw one. This metal bar is actually hanging over the surface of the road, like about 6 inches. So if you are driving, and let me say that some of these things are painted in black, you don't see them like that. If you are driving close to the edge of the road and you don't notice that bar, it's going to rip out the top of your vehicle, break your windscreen, and whoever is sitting on the side of a vehicle may find themselves in serious problem. The training school, or whatever you call it, up the hill there by Latop, you know what I mean?
Yes.
The police are on the road, the SSU and the trainers and the police themselves, they are on that road 24/7. Don't they see these things that are so dangerous to people, to motorists, to even pedestrians? Where are we heading to? The law of the jungle now takes over, team in St. Lucia? Am I to say that? What else to say, my brother? But you know what they say? Every man does what's right in his own eyes. I am hoping that the police department will take some steps and some action to remove those trailers on the Laptop Road. And I'm hoping the minister, who is ready to help everybody on his Thursday night show, will help the the citizens of the city of Castries to take care of that sinkhole on Jerome Street. Have a good day, my brother.
Okay, you too, sir. Thank you so much for calling. All right, let's see if we can take another call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello.
Okay, you too, sir. Thank you so much for calling. Good day, Timothy Poleon.
Good afternoon to you, Mr. Peter Chico, the United Workers' Party candidate for Castries East. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Boy, you give me some good PR team.
I'm giving your title. That's your title. Your designation, sorry.
I just called to just make a comment regarding the statement from Mr. Bungad.
Yeah.
I want to bring us back to the Rovergate matter. First to begin, as you are aware, I was the one who did the review on the file. Recommendations were made on the file, right? The previous controllers, for whatever reason, and I suspect it's simply because of fear, none of them really wanted to do the file. The recommendations were made, and the recommendations were made based on what was contained in the file. The recommendations that were made to the controller were the same recommendations that were made in correspondence from the Attorney General's chambers to the Customs Controller. I don't know if it's one or two. The two previous Customs Controllers who dealt with it. When I did the review, I made the recommendation based on what was contained in the file. I submitted it. When I became controller, obviously I had to implement the same recommendations that I made that came from the Attorney General. So I made the recommendations. The file went in to court. The matters were lodged, right? Prior to the matters being lodged, in fact, when I attended the meeting, one of the things I found out was that documents had disappeared from the file. Now you realize, listen to the MO of Mr. Guy. He said the file contained insufficient evidence, it was lacking, and whatever other descriptions he used to describe the file. I made the recommendations and we went into court based on the recommendations and Dr. Ernest Hiller's failure to comply. After 7 adjournments, I was removed, election came, government changed, 7 adjournments, I was removed. The 8th calling of the matter was dismissed. Now, just look at the MO. You realize not only to protect the victory, but also to protect the comrades. You realize that's the same thing that is going to happen there. That's the identical thing that is going to happen. And I'm saying it now. St. Lucians, you all need to open your eyes to what is happening in the country. These guys are going to make these files disappear already. A matter who had been. So are you saying to me, Mrs. Pelius and I went to comprehensive together as well. She was a classmate, not just a schoolmate. She was a classmate of mine. Are you telling me that she didn't do her due diligence prior to her seeking the assistance of the impacts to assist with the matter? Are you telling me that the investigation the impacts did was so inadequate that here comes a new commissioner of police to indicate that the file is not up to standard? At what point will we open our eyes and see that is simply to make another comrade, escape the law? All right? And I'm saying it openly without fear. That is another reason or another part of the MO to make another comrade escape the law. I said it. This is what we're going to see. Because Mr. Vanguard, as commissioner of police, coming in there, and that's the same thing that happened in customs, The controller of customs came in and he said he took a decision, not a decision based on discussion with myself, with the DPP, and even the officers from the AG chambers, the lawyers from the AG chambers. In total, about 6 or 8 lawyers between the Attorney General's chambers and the DPP's office. He didn't even take advice from them or had discussion with them, except in one, which is the Attorney General, Ernest Healer's defense lawyer, Mr. Leslie Mondesi. And the case disappeared. So Tim and St. Lucia and the world, be prepared for the disappearance of that matter. That matter is not going to work until we as a people stand up and defend that. And I'm calling on all women in this country, as well as the female parliamentarians within the St. Lucia Labour Party, to stand up against that. You all have children, you all have female children, you all have nieces, you all have mothers. You all cannot stand up against that. Let an investigation be conducted, and let this matter be dealt with in the courts. Let the gentleman be vindicated in the courts, not by the Commissioner of Police. I thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, sir. Let's take our final call. Hello, good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
So, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon, Rick.
Are you among those who agreed with Trump on that on his idea of hiring rich people for certain positions in his cabinet?
No, I'm not. Particularly looking at it from the perspective of St. Lucia and the Caribbean, because rich people get into politics in that part of the world to remain rich. Poor people, most of them, poor people get into politics to become rich.
Well, I don't know about so much. I am a believer in laws, even though there's not much reason to believe in laws in St. Lucia. I don't blame the politicians for that. I blame the people of St. Lucia that we are a lawless country, and it's not because we don't have laws on the books. You'd agree with that?
Yes.
So the people of St. Lucia, and I heard a lot of new complaints today, right? A lot of new complaints about roads, about swimming pools near the market, all that kind of stuff. There's a brick on the hospital, etc. But all of those things are within the control of the people of the country, Tim. That's the great thing about a democracy and a free country. We still are a free country, but democracy is a waste of time unless it is given to people who appreciate it. And it's also a fact that the more educated you are, the more you appreciate freedom and democracy. So it's for us to decide whether we are stupid, whether we are not deserving of democracy, and whether we cannot feel that when the blows come and the kicks come, it's we who take those blows and kicks, regardless of what party we support. But we don't seem to want to know that at all. But I want to say that Mr. Trump is the same gentleman who had a particular name for poor countries and third world countries. Do you remember what that name was?
Shitholes.
Shithole countries. Trump has never demonstrated any particular faith in people without wealth. In fact, he calls them losers as well. Yeah, and he said often he has no time for losers. That's the man that we're about to be saying, well, he has a point. A guy who's poor is going to come and steal. The guy who's rich is already rich. That is so dumb, so stupid, and so suicidal. What we have to learn is that we have laws, and we have to see to it that those laws are obeyed, respected. We have an Integrity Act, Tim. When was the last time you heard anybody questioned along the lines of the Integrity Act? The Integrity Commission has put names as per law, and people who have not declared their assets and so on, put their names in the Gazette as required by law. And it was for the DPP to take action after that. Never has that happened. So this is a criminal country, Tim. if we want to say, this has been a criminal country for a long time. It's just a matter of we deciding who the criminals are. Not forgetting that we were told in the report that the facilitators of crime are in government, are among the politicians, police officers, and crooked businessmen. We've been told that in so many ways, and we refuse to act on it because what that amounts to is that the country is a criminal place. The country has become a criminal organization, and the people who benefit most from it are the people who control it, the facilitators. When are we going to understand that? The other thing about police files, Kenna, you sounded today as if it was a surprise to hear the police files disappearing. But I'm sure you know I do.
No. I was just frustrated that this is still happening in 2024.
Well, let us inform our younger listeners that this has always been the biggest cop-out for police officers who have no defense or anything else, is to declare files missing.
And evidence. As well. Evidence as well.
And evidence disappearing. Deals made with lawyers, especially certain criminal lawyers, deals made with them so that the evidence disappears. That has been going on for the longest while. And I'm sure when those investigators reported back to Kenny Anthony that the facilitators of crime were in the government, politicians, so on, that they included that. Because if they did their investigation properly, they wouldn't just deal with one day. They will go back. And in fact, we have been part of a criminal organization for the longest while. Only some of us pay for more for it. I mean, it's the Treasury. It is well known, or at least it's never been proven. And people like to say the man ain't convict, but they ain't proved that yet. But we live in a small town. And we know a lot of things that ought to be prosecuted, but are not, because we don't have a decent police force and we don't have anybody pushing them to do their work, Tim. That you cannot get your contracts or you can't get this from the Treasury unless you pay up somebody. I'm sure you've heard about that many times.
Yes, I've heard this before.
Contractors. So almost every department you can think of in the country operates criminally. And anyway, if those files we're just talking about there were missing, are in fact missing, should that end there, or should somebody be accountable as to why those files are missing? Why? Because that's what we do. We just say, the files are missing, don't forget about it, let's go home.
Because we have gotten so used to it. This is the norm. And, it has become acceptable practice.
To the people, it has become acceptable.
Yeah.
But to others, they may be complicit. There are a lot of statements allegedly made at the time of impacts. Those statements ought to be on record, if true. But nobody will talk about it, Tim. Nobody will even mention it, not even the opposition. And by the way, my final point. I saw on your chat room one of your more astute listeners. He claimed that Dominic Fede insinuated yesterday that they were not pursuing the CIP allegations with any vigor because effectively it was not a bread and butter issue. That's another crap that the politicians do, Tim. When it's inconvenient for them to pursue, even the opposition politicians, and I don't refer to just this one, when something is inconvenient to pursue, they don't pursue it, Tim. Because if they both know they're involved in crookedness, no politician wants to rock that boat. And I'm not saying that is the case with this politician, with this opposition, just in case I am misconstrued. I am saying even politicians in opposition are quite often corrupt in opposition. Did you get that?
Yes, got your point.
So when they share the same corruption, there's this complicity against the people. Wherever they find that they are on the same page against the people, government or opposition, they don't pursue it. These are some strong statements. And I ain't going to be here forever, all of you listening to me. And you're not going to hear that talk from anybody else because they don't have the balls to say it. I am saying it, it'll be on the record, and when I'm gone, Timothy Poleon will say, when Rick was there, Rick used to say so and so. But all that part is there for you to play for them if, in fact, I vamos before you, Tim. Thank you very much.
All right, Rick, thank you so much. And we hope you live as long as possible. You at least 100 years. We give you another 100 years to live and to continue to put the fire under the feet of not only the politicians, but the citizenry of this country. Our question of the day, our NewsSpin question of the day, what should be the qualifications of a politician? What caused me to ask that question is because David Appa Charles was my guest on last evening's Newsmaker Live, and somebody did pose the question to him whether he felt he was sufficiently qualified to be a minister, because Appa wants to contest the VA4 South seat in the upcoming general election. Let's listen to the question and the response.
Do you think you have the capability of, being a leader to persons in, individuals or employees in a ministry, managing a budget of 1.5 billion?
Because the politicians have advisors, the politicians have all kind of people, doing their work for them, but I think politics is the easiest work. The only thing is the caring about the people and the honesty towards the people, and the countrymen.
According to APA, being a politician is the easiest job in the world. You just have to care about the people and look after their interest. What are the qualifications of a politician, or what should be the qualifications of a politician? Some quick comments before we conclude, Amanda, with regard to what's happening in the chat room.
Tim, someone said in the chat room, so why are records missing in a police station? What safeguards in records management are there in places such as the police departments or the courts? Another comment, that is not the call of the commissioner, that's his opinion. This call has to come from the DPP. Another comment, it's widely known that in St. Lucia, even simple files go missing from the police station very often. That police force is rotten to its very core. Someone says, God is destroying the reputation of the police force by his statement just to get the job done. Another comment, in my opinion, Nancy is one of the few people in the UWP hierarchy that when she speaks, she articulates very well and resonates with the public. Someone says, so they only had a physical document, no electronic copies in 2024. Another comment, they will want to start a new airport in St. Lucia now because you all are talking about him going to Dominica. You know that's the only time they do something. Another contribution, compassionate, this man who said empathy is not my style. Someone says PJP also said Musa doing a great job as health minister, so I am not surprised hearing that. Another comment, they have returned the Constitution Park to the badlands of Afghanistan. Someone says the deteriorating state of Central Castries fits the hidden SLP agenda. Another SLP term in office will make Central Castries residents run for the hills. Someone says, see why freedom of information is the most crucial thing needed in this country. And in the comments, someone said, Tim, there's not so many rich persons in St. Lucia coming to power. Only one I know, only greedy Joes.
All right.
That's it for me, Tim.
Thank you so much for that. And let me turn my attention now to our NewsSpin news of the day. And the NewsSpin of the day reads, global firearm count surpasses 1 billion. Global firearm count surpasses 1 billion. Let me see if I have some of your other comments before we conclude our broadcast. Somebody says, Tim, are you aware that the Joseph boy who died in the car near the Anglican school, his parents took that matter to the courts and won $100,000+ in settlement? And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. It reads there, good day from Texas. The president of Ukraine and the U.S. were actors. And the qualifications of a politician.
I know to be a doctor, you need a degree. I know a simple soldier must be tall with a strong body. To But what must I study, Daddy, to get into politics?
What must you study to be in politics? We'll leave that one hanging. You decide. This has been another edition of the world's most monitored talk show, and that is NewsSpin. My name is Timothy Poleon. Goodbye.